So, in continuation with the government approach to tackling poverty, what are its programs? So, it had three approaches. One was a growth oriented approach, the second was a poverty elevation program, which we finished, and the third one is the provision of basic amenities. So, we are going to do the provision of basic amenities. So just go through this while I'll just let you know what it is. So in this, the third approach to addressing poverty by the government is to provide minimum basic needs to the people. Our government spends on social consumption needs such as provision of food grains at subsidized rates, then other things to see that improvement, to bring about some improvement in standard of living. How do they do it? They do it by, say, improving the sanitation, health, water, education, then also consumption of the poor, create employment opportunities, basically to improve their standard of living. So that is what they do. And as you see, how do they do it? We can go ahead with this. It is like, for example, how do they go? So one is like, say, public distribution system. That means they are talking about, here we are going to talk about what? Provision of subsidized food grains. So how do they do it? By PDS. So under this, the essential commodities like wheat, rice, edible oil, they are made available to poor families, and there are nearly a network of nearly 5.5 lakh fair price shops in the country. So they do it through that. Okay, so this is what it is. I actually sometimes I miss out on them. That's, I keep peeping from here and there. Second is midday meals. So this is a move to see that children move to school, because the important thing is the parents will feel good that once their child goes to school, he'll also get something good to eat, nutritional diet. So midday meals at schools, children are provided free meals during the school hours. So good meal they get there. Then the other one is National Food Security Act, which was passed in 2013. In this, every member of the family gets around 5 kgs of food grains per month, and at very good subsidized rates, at 3 per kg for rice and 2 per kg for wheat, and 1 per kg for coarse cereals. So that is what you can see. And there were two schemes in 2000. One was a AAY, that is Antodaya Anna Yojna, and Anpurna scheme. They were launched with special target groups, that is poorest of the poor. So in this, the functions of these two schemes was linked with the public distribution system. And in this, not only it was given to the poorest of the poor, the same rate, 2 per kg and 3 per kg rice, with 35 kg of food grains made available to each family. And also under Annapurna scheme, 10 kgs of free food grains is provided to poor senior citizens of 65 years and above, who are not covered under the National Social Assistance Program. So that was there. Then we also see that Pradhan Mantri Gram. Now we are talking about, we can also talk about the standard of living. So for that, good roads needed. Then also quality of life by giving them milk, cattle and other productive assets, and also giving them assistance with housing. So they have different names for this. So you can see how they go about this. So yeah, So in this you have, here we can see, I've written it over here. Please look at this. So in this we have what is known as the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Then in this, it was launched in 2000 as a 100% centrally sponsored scheme that aims at providing rural connectivity to unconnected inhabitants with population of 500 persons or more in the rural areas. That was there by the end of the 10th plan. Then you had something known as Pradhan Mantri Gram Uday Yojana, which was introduced in 2001 to improve the quality of life in the rural areas. So a concessional loan was provided to rural people to buy what are their assets for them. For example, it is a cattle for them, sheep for them, and other things that they could buy with concessional loans. So they had to make a well, all that. Then there was something known as Valmiki Ambedkar Awas Yojana. Awas means housing, to stay. So this was launched on December 2001, and this was to improve the conditions of the urban slum dwellers living below the poverty line without adequate shelter. So these were the basic programs, and of course there were some other programs too, which are national social assistance. Then just go through this while I just, as if you see, you can just go through them while I just let you know. So variety of other social security programs also were there to help these specific groups. One was a National Social Assistance Program, which came up in 1995. So elderly dependent people over 65 years of age were provided pension. So poor women and alone widows also covered under this scheme. So then we have this National Food Security Act 2013. This was passed. So let's just take the NSAP programs. There are many stories and real true stories in which they found that the poor people who had elderly people became much more respectful to them, that they felt that at least he or she, they are getting pension. So that was a good thing sometimes. And then we have this National Food Security Act of 2013, which extends to the whole of India. And this was something to the effect legal entitlement. So that means if you didn't get it, you can go to talk the doors of the court. So it was of legal entitlement to 5 kgs of rice, wheat or coarse cereals per person per month at rupees 3, rupees 2 and rupee 1 to a per person, 1 per kg to a per person as identified by the states. So this provides legal right for food security, 75% of the rural population and 50% of the urban population. So that was something which is very interesting. Then you have what is known as a Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. The government launched this scheme in 2014 to promote savings habit among people by encouraging them to open a bank account. See, besides promoting savings, it intended to transfer the benefits of the government schemes and subsidies directly to the account holders. This was their idea. So instead of giving it to some middlemen, they would transfer the funds to your account. That seemed so good. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana of 2014. So, and also what was decided was that each account holder was entitled to rupees 1 lakh accident insurance and 30,000 life insurance cover. So for many people it was unheard of, something which we Initially, we didn't know about here. Then we also had the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan or Swachh Bharat Mission, which was launched in October 2014 on the occasion of the 150th anniversary of the birth of Mahatma Gandhi. This was to make India open defecation free, ODF India. So looking at it, of course, the government has come up with good plans, and let me again tell you, so what is the three approaches by the government? It is GPP. What is that? Growth oriented programs, then poverty alleviation programs, and then provision of basic amenities.